Hey everybody, happy 4th of July. I'm going a little White Claw iced tea today, lemon flavored. Let's see how this goes. As I said, happy 4th of July. I'm going to start off by a little Marvin Gaye Star Spangled Banner. If you haven't heard it, the best rendition ever. Marvin was a legend. Now here we are, July 4th. Last year, the president was touting our 16-cent savings. This year, not one word that it's costing us about $50 more to have the same barbecue. Joe's doing a great job. You know, as I said, for the last year and a half, whatever, no returns, Joe, no returns. It's absolutely insanity. Because after the court's decisions the last couple of weeks, everybody's lost their freedoms. Apparently everybody. But I mean everybody, I mean those Hollywood rich liberals. And the irony about those liberals, they all have the money to leave. You know what we have in the United States? We have freedom, called independence. They have the freedom to get up and the money to get up and get out. We had this one, Jessica Chastain, said she lost all control of bodily autonomy. All control. She bought a mansion in Manhattan, Democrat, liberal. She can do whatever she wants. And she said, I love everyone unconditionally. Maybe she's using the new jargon unconditionally, because that's not quite it is, because she hates people who don't believe in giving you the free choice. These Hollywood folks believe, because they have money and a platform, their opinion means more than you and I. I have to tell you this. They're no smarter than I am, and I'm not that smart. I tell you to ask my wife all the time. But I do think they may be a tad bit angrier. Trying not to be so angry today, but no promises, no promises. Keep talking about Independence Day and overthrowing the government. I'll talk about the January 6th hearings or the infomercial a couple times today. But the big overthrow of the government, they went in there, do the Viking hell, was overthrowing the government. That's what we're hearing. Yet we have one party, just one party. They do not like the Electoral College. They want majority rules, even though the country is not a democracy. So they want to get rid of the Electoral College. They don't like the decisions of the Supreme Court, so they want to pack the court and add 4 more. They don't like the filibuster because it doesn't give the 51 majority a chance to say anything, so it stops both sides from talking and takes away any say the minority has. They don't like that. They want to get rid of that. So the biggest constructs in our government that are actually in the Constitution, they want to get rid of. But this is not an overthrow. They're just doing it for you and I. Some of us may call it a pure power grab. But what the hell are we? We're just the mensch of society. We're the dirt lying around. It's just giving them more money and more money. Who's paying for Ukraine? It's you and I. Another $820 million today. The money train will never, ever stop. Really, and Joe had another week. He was out speaking on the grand stage, and he went out and talked to everybody and said, nobody thinks the United States is doing anything bad. They're the leader in everything, except the Supreme Court. The decision on Roe versus Wade is destabilizing everything. Really? That's it? Not the inflation, not the gas prices, not the fact that you're in dementia, throes of dementia? Not the fact that you can't speak coherent sentences? It's the Roe versus Wade here in the United States is destabilizing the country. The dude's got bad writers. He needs some of those Hollywood guys. At least some of them can do some writing. I don't really understand. You know, he went on to say that $5 a gallon for gas is the small price that we have to pay for the liberal world order. When did we join that? The LWO. I'm thinking that's a new franchise in the World Wrestling Organization. I don't know. The LWO. We're all part of that now. What are our dues there? It's probably the billions we're sending Ukraine to join. I'm just saying. But I don't know. When do we sign up for the liberal world order? Hey, Joe, don't build it back. Just put it back. Nothing better. Just put it back the way it was, Joe. Everything was fine a couple of years ago. You got in, everything's going to hell in a handbasket. And then the Medal of Freedom given to civilians. You pick a bunch of people, but 2 stood out. Megan Rapinoe, who kneels for the national anthem and boycotting the country. She doesn't agree with it. You give her the Medal for Freedom. Freedom for a country that she can do that. And then Simone Biles, Freedom for what? Quitting? She gets the medal for quitting? But you know what it did do, Joe? It checked off another 2 boxes. You gave it to an African-American female and a lesbian female. So I'm just saying, are we giving medals out based on boxes now or things people are really doing? I'm just not understanding how this all works. But for me, it just looks like more pandering. I don't know. Angry Mac should get a medal. Anybody who wants that, give me a thumbs up and subscribe. I'm looking for my Medal of Freedom because I have the freedom to go out here once a week and just rant and drink whatever I want. At least while the wife's not home. I'm beginning to think Joe Biden is the best president the other nations have ever had. And then we got Kamala Harris, who should have her own show called Word Soup or Word Salad, because this was a quote this week. And can anybody make sense what this mental patient is talking about? This is the quote. I think that there can be no higher priority than what we have been clear is our highest priority. Kamala, what the hell are you talking about? And she wasn't talking about inflation or recession or COVID. I don't know what she was talking about. She's just throwing a whole bunch of things in the salad, this soup, and mixing it all up makes no sense. I'm not sure, man. I'm really not sure. And so much continues to go on about Roe versus Wade. But I have to tell you, there is a silver lining with the liberals and the left. They say vasectomies are up 900%. I'm saying it's going to thin the herd of stupidity. In the next 20 years, we're going to have children who actually have critical thinking skills because the dummies who got vasectomies aren't breeding anymore. There's your positive. Thank you, Supreme Court, because you're thinning the herd of stupidity. Because it can't be cured, but we can thin it out. We know COVID got rid of a lot of common sense. Now vasectomy is going to help us thin out the road towards stupidity. Another one, you got Rosie O'Donnell. Rosie O'Donnell is on a sex strike till Roe vs. Wade gets put back to where it belongs. Now this one confounds me a little bit because no male in their right mind would want to have sex with her in the first place, but she's a lesbian. And last time I checked, unless there's a new definition of lesbian, lesbians are with other women. So she's on a sex strike against other women? Tell me how this makes sense. I don't know. Once again, Hollywood types, movie stars, people with a lot of money, I don't think they always think that straight. Just saying. And she has an intense hatred of our country. Now, another thing we hear is that all women lost all control of their bodies. They no longer have control of their bodies. But you know what they have control? I'm going to tell you 2 things. Contraception and the ability to say no. We'll go back to the Nancy Reagan years. Just say no. Just say no. Maybe controversial, but elective is not a medical necessity. I'm just keeping it there. And everybody's got their choice and everybody's got their reasons, but don't tout elective as a medical necessity because it's not true. You make the choice, that's on you. My personal viewpoints matter very, very little in this situation at all. I'm not going to get into it because nobody cares. Nobody really cares what I have to say. And this you can ask my wife and the squirrels. They certainly don't care. Now, the one that was funny is that OJ chimed in. And OJ said he believes women should have the right to do what they want to do with their bodies. Hey, Juice, you may want to sit this one out. I'm just saying, you spent some time in jail. There's some allegations for what you did to a woman. I'm not saying guilty or not guilty, but you look pretty guilty. So you may want to sit this one out, as entertaining as your comments are. I'm just saying, stay here all late on this one. Let's get back to football, Juice. And jumping over luggage for the commercials. Really, really is bizarre. Now we have the January 6th hearings. Now it's nothing but people getting up there, telling what they heard from another person who wasn't there. Let's just get into all of that. And the first piece of information that was handed out, the hearsay, she gave the wrong information, but everything else was correct. She just had the wrong information. So when you start the story off with bad second and third hand information, how can anything else be accurate? But it's just crazy. So after that happened, an article in the paper the next day, the headline was, let me see it here. The majority of Americans want Trump charged. That was the headline. The majority of Americans. First line, 48% of Americans want Trump charged. 48% is not the majority, but perhaps we're going by the new non-racist math. Maybe the majority is 48% right now, don't know. And the majority is 48%. What are the Democrats trying to change all the rules for? I don't know about this whole thing. But I did learn that Donald Trump may be Jason Bourne. He's got a certain set of skills. And the new report is he just grabbed 6 more women's steering wheels. I don't know, Donald. Don't know how you did it. But man, you're grabbing wheels, you're lunging, you're trying to choke guys from the back of the car. Donald Trump may be Superman or Jason Bourne. I'm just saying, that's what I'm thinking. I don't know. I wasn't there. But I heard from somebody who heard from somebody who heard from somebody who told somebody else and eventually got back to me. So it must be true if I'm saying it. Cheers. Funny, this morning I was at a 4th of July parade. Didn't see one naked heterosexual parading down a parade. Just saying, heterosexuals don't parade around naked. Just saying that. Down in Florida, I believe, a 93-year-old retired plumber shot and killed an intruder who came into his home. The intruder was armed with a fishing pole. Word of advice, do not bring a fishing pole to a gunfight. A knife, a fishing pole, it's not going to work out for you. You break into an old guy's house with a gun, you're going to get shot and killed. Just, that's how it works out. It's not going to work out good for you. Really is. Same day, there was a little protest where some young black male got shot. And this is what it said on the sign his brother was holding. So, black man shot, killed. Brother was holding this sign. Listen to this. No mother should have to fear for her son's life every time he shoots at the police. Really? I don't know, maybe don't shoot at the police? Maybe don't shoot at anyone? You know why I'm never going to get shot by the police? And it has nothing to do with my anger or my color of my skin. I'm not committing crimes! And if the police do question me about something, I'm just going to talk to them. My God. Now, everybody knows it's summer vacation for me. I'm off for a little bit. Now, I hear my wife, and things are crazy. I find out, I remember these. My wife loves to talk to me at the weirdest times. Like, as soon as she wakes up, she needs to have a conversation. If I'm in the bathroom with the door closed, needs to have a conversation. If I'm downstairs working out, she needs to come downstairs and have a conversation. If I'm working in the backyard with the headphones on, she needs to have a conversation. You know what my wife needs? Go back to work! I need some peace! I love it to death, but come on, man! Give me a break! All right. Now, listen. Here's the advice before I did the closing. My daughter is no longer talking to me because I refused to pay for her wedding. I've been married for 8 years and divorced from her mother for 15. She is not inviting my wife. I don't know what to do. Any advice? Yeah, don't pay. She's not inviting your wife? Don't pay. That's it. Very simple. She doesn't want to invite your family? What do you got to foot the bill for? You're footing the bill. Your wife at minimum should go with you. That's it. What are we doing here? Let her be mad. Let her be angry. Cross you off the list. This you may have to be done with her. Selfish. Selfish. Now listen. If you are offended by the American flag, you could leave. You could leave the country. I'm not offended by it. I'm going to tell you something right now. My pride flag is red, white, and blue with 50 stars. You could have your own. That is up to you, and I will support your choice. But mine is Old Glory. Now listen, find somebody you love because tomorrow is not guaranteed. Find somebody you love because they need to know it. Find somebody you love and tell them I love you because they're the 3 most powerful words you could say to another person. Appreciate what you have today because it may be gone tomorrow. Remember, all this is nonsense. We'll get through it together. I love you all. Happy 4th of July. Cheers. End it with a little Jimi Hendrix.